What's up, guys? Douglas from Dougsterbob.com here, and today we're going to be talking about the 2022 Sunday Forecaster bikes. And it's just a sigh of relief because here's the thing. The last few bikes, the Primer, the Scout, the Blueprint, they're just a little disappointing. I feel like they're a little bit overpriced. And now we're finally getting into the bikes with full chromoly and double wall rims and like those important things that you need to actually progress on a bike. I think you're gonna have to wait and see at the end of the video who this bike's for and whether I would actually recommend it, because there's a lot of information about to come out. So the Sunday Forecaster is an almost $600 mid-level BMX bike. Finally, no more beginner bikes. The mid-level is something nice because I look for mid-level bikes when I'm recommending them to riders who have been riding for a while. Chances are people buy a beginner level BMX bike, they actually get good at the sport and they break it. So now they're looking for a mid-level bike. This is on the lower end of the mid-level bikes, but it is a mid-level bike nonetheless. It comes in three different top tube size options. It comes in a 20.5, a 20.75, and a 21. This is so confusing because every color is associated with like a pro, and some bikes have a free coaster. Some bikes come in right hand drive and left hand drive. Some bikes, there's a park version. Some bikes are like 579, some are 559, and it just depends. So instead of making a separate video about every single bike, because there's only some small things that are changed, we'll just talk about each one real quick, okay? So the $559 Sunday Forecaster in 20.75 and gloss raw. This is the Brett Silva version. This is the cheapest version. It's $559 because it has a cassette instead of a free coaster, and it has the gloss raw paint job. Now the 2022 Sunday Forecaster Alec Simon version comes in a 20.75 and it comes in a hunter green. It comes with a free coaster. It's $579. The 2022 Sunday Forecaster Aaron Ross version, we love Aaron Ross. He's a goat. We love Aaron Ross, okay? It's a 20.5. It comes in matte sky blue. It also has a free coaster and it's $579. The 2022 Sunday Forecaster Park version is Maka's version. It is a park specific one. I'll actually do a separate review on that, but it is $559 also. At the time of filming this, Maka is about to compete in Women's Olympics for BMX freestyle for Chile. So one, it's super exciting. She's in the Olympics. Two, it's extra exciting. She has a signature Sunday bike. I don't think any women pros have that from their sponsors. So Sunday, good job. Supporting equality, supporting Maka, good job. Everyone else step it up, okay? Anyway, the 2022 Forecaster Brock Rayford version is a 21-inch top tube. It's $579. It also has a free coaster, but this one comes in a left-hand drive or a right-hand drive. I don't know how other sites are doing it, but Dan's Comp has them as two different products. So if you're ordering it from Dan's Comp, you can click the right hand drive one or the left hand drive. You have to select it and make sure you don't make the wrong choice. I ride left hand drive. With the left hand drive, what happens is your chain, your sprocket, everything's on the left. So when you catch tail whips with your right foot, it's nice to have that stuff on the left side so that it doesn't smack your heel. The only other reason you would really care is if you grind on the right side, you're going to want to have a left hand drive because there's no sprocket guard, things like that. Or if you grind on the left side, you want a right hand drive. That used to be the thing. It's probably not really anymore because people are grinding on every single side. But that used to be the deal. If you don't have a sprocket guard, then you want to grind on the opposite side of your drive system. All right, so now let's jump into the quality. This is a very important section because this bike is okay quality, but it's really not the best. Let me tell you why. The Forecaster, all of the models come with a full chromoly frame. So this is very cool. This is like the 2021 Kink Whip. Full chromoly frame. The forks are chromoly steer tube. They're not full chromoly, and the bars are high tensile steel, just like the Primer and just like the Scout. With the high tensile steel bars, high tensile steel forks, that's not the best. This bike does not come with any pegs. does not come with any hub guards, and it weighs 26.8 pounds. Everything on this bike is fully customizable and the bearings are fully sealed, so that's cool. It's decent quality, but it's not the best. Now let's talk about geometry. This bike is very similar to the Sunday Scout in terms of geometry. It comes in 20.75, 20.5, or 21-inch top tube. The chainstay is 13.2 inches to 13.5 inches. This is a little bit of a longer chainstay. If you slam the wheel all the way forward, it's going to be 13.2. If you have the wheel all the way back, it's going to be 13.5. So generally your chainstay length is going to be right in the middle there where you have your wheel tightened down. This is going to give you some stability and a little bit of control, but it's going to make spins a little bit harder. The head tube angle though is 75.5 degrees, which is steep. This is responsive, this is snappy. It's going to counteract the longer chainstay. And then it has a 9-inch standover height. This is pretty average. It's not too tall, but it's also not too short. This is about what most of them are. It's going to give you a little bit of stability. It's going to make it easier to pinch for bar spins or grab the seat for toboggans. All right, so now let's talk about the Dougsterbob Scores. This is a scoring system that I developed to help you figure out, help everyone figure out which BMX bike is best in street and dirt and park. You can sort through it and find the best bike in each section. You can also see what the overall score is, and that this goes off of value. So which bike's the best valued. And then, so we're going to talk about the Forecaster's scoring. But if you want this sheet, you can download it, click the link in the description, and just put in your email address and you'll get it sent to you. And then you can look at all 80 plus bikes that are on there, which is pretty cool. All right, so in the street section, well, first, this is how we're gonna have to break up the scores. So for the Forecaster, there's one bike that comes in a cassette, okay? But then all the other bikes come in a free coaster. So the cassette's going to score differently in different sections because it doesn't have a free coaster, and the free coaster version is going to score differently in different sections. So I'm going to run through both of them real quick. Remember, the park one is completely different, so that's a whole different video. If you're curious about that, check it out, okay? Let's get right into it. The Forecaster cassette is a 2.5 in street. We're going to round that up to a 3. It's got better quality, so it is okay for big drops and big gaps, but it's not the best. And it doesn't have a free coaster, it doesn't have pegs, and it doesn't have hub guards. So it's not the best for street. However, the free coaster version scored a 4.75. We're going to round it up to a 5. This is significantly better, and this is because it does have a free coaster. Now, I get it. Not everyone rides street with a free coaster. I ride street with a cassette, but the free coaster is going to make street tricks so much easier. Most street tricks. So this is going to help out new street riders who want to get better at street. So that's why it scored so much higher. In the park section, the cassette version and the free coaster version both scored 3.67. We're going to round this up to 4. They are okay for park. The tires are pretty good. The geometry is not the best. And there's no gyro. They do have gyro tabs, so you could put a gyro on, but they don't come with one. So it's not going to be very good for park-specific riders, since a 4 isn't really that good. You can make some upgrades to make it a little better for park, but right out of the box, it's not the best choice. Now, in the dirt section, the Forecaster cassette version got a 3.67. We're going to round that up to a 4 because the gearing is okay for dirt, even though it doesn't have 30-10 gearing. Best case scenario, this bike would have 30-10 gearing. It would have really long chainstay like it does. It'd have a mellow head tube angle and a tallish standover. So you can upgrade it with better tires and things like that, but it got a 4. But the free coasters version got a 2.33. We're going to round this down to a 2. The reason it only scored a 2 is because it has a free coaster. And what happens when you ride dirt with a free coaster is it's really hard to pedal. And sometimes, not all the time, but especially for new riders, you're going to case a jump and you're going to have to pedal to get enough speed to clear that second jump. With the free coaster, you have slack. So you're going to pedal and you're going to smack your knee and you're just going to have a really tough time getting the speed that you need to clear the next jump. So the free coaster is really going to limit your ability to ride dirt. And the Dougsterbob Score is a 4.2. The quality to price ratio is pretty good on this bike because it is a little more expensive, but it does have a lot better quality than some of the lower end models that were still priced really high. So that's why it's going to score 4.2 on the Dougsterbob score. Overall, quality is better, but the price is fair for the quality that you're getting. So now let's talk about some of the potential issues that you're going to run into when you buy the Forecaster. Normally, I'd say stuff breaking, and that's going to still be true. So the handlebars are high tensile steel. The forks are not full chromoly. They've got a chromoly steer tube. So you're going to land hard. You're going to land heavy, and your bars might bend. You might bail off your bike. It bounces around and runs into a pole or a bus. It's going to bend. Okay. Your forks are going to bend when you nose case something. But your core structure of the bike is going to be a lot stronger. I just want you to be prepared as you're progressing for a few things to break. It's not going to be as much as the things on the primer because this is a lower end mid-level bike, but it's stuff's still going to break and you're going to have to be prepared for that. The only other issue I foresee is getting the free coaster version and trying to ride dirt or not being able to ride a free coaster. The feeling is significantly different than a cassette. You've got to deal with slack, you've got to deal with a lot of different things. You don't have pedal pressure. You can't like pedal pressure in a manual. You can't wheelie very good. Like there's a lot of things going on with it and you need to figure those out. You need to make sure that you know what you're doing and that you've tested a free coaster before because a lot of people get a free coaster bike and they say, oh, I wasn't ready for this. So make sure that you're prepared and make sure you don't get a free coaster version if you don't know what it is. So I want you to tell me who you think the Sunday Forecaster is for. In my opinion, the Forecaster is going to be for a rider who is riding at a beginner level, but is just getting close to mid level. So you're learning a good amount of tricks, probably 180s, 360 tire taps. You're trying bar spins. You're trying some of those mid level tricks, but you're just not quite there yet. The Forecaster is going to provide you the quality that you need to take on those tricks and stuff not break all the time. It's still going to happen, but you're going to be able to do a little bit better with that. So if you're a fairly seasoned beginner rider who's starting to move into mid-level, you've got to be able to fit on the 20.5, 20.75, or 21-inch top tubes. You have almost $600 and you like Sunday. This is going to be the bike for you. It's a fair price and that's kind of who it's designed for. Would I recommend this bike? Yes, I do recommend this bike, but only if your budget is like right at 570, like if you can't afford to spend any more on this bike, then it's a good choice. It's a much better choice than the Scout, and I think you should upgrade and get it. But if you do have a little extra money and you can afford the Sunday X and you plan to ride for a decent amount of time, I definitely suggest you just buy the X. The quality is so much better. It comes with full chromoly bars, forks, frame, everything that you need. The X is going to be a lot better than the Forecaster. But if for whatever reason you don't have any more money, like I totally get that, the Forecaster is going to be fine. You're still going to get on it. You're going to get your free coaster version or your cassette version, your right hand drive, your left hand drive. There's a lot of options that you need to choose from, but it's going to be okay as you progress. If you decide to buy it, I want you to use the link in the description to make sure that you get the absolute best price out right now. There's a lot of places selling it for more expensive than it should be. So I want you to use that link and make sure that you get the best price possible. Now, one more thing, when you get this bike, I want you to tag me on Instagram so that I can share it. I love to see everyone getting into the sport. It's my goal, 1,000,000 people into BMX, and I hope you find the right bike. That way I get one more person into the sport. But if you want to speed up the process of finding the right bike, click the link to get a free bike recommendation. It's also in the description. All you do is click it, put in your name, your height, your budget, your skill level, and then I make a PDF recommendation. I send it back to you, and it's got 3 bikes that I think are perfect for you. That way you can make sure to find the right bike. You don't have to watch millions of YouTube videos to see which one's right. And yeah, it takes me about a day, so be patient. Other than that, have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching the content, and let me know if you have any questions. I always love to help out. Peace.